Hi, everybody. I'm Tim Estiloz with the Spiel on Entertainment, and I'm here with actor Tim Blake Nelson and director Potsy Ponciroli to talk about their incredible new Western coming out soon called Old Henry. Gentlemen, it's a pleasure to chat with you both.
It's our pleasure to be here with you.
You know, I found this film to be interesting on a number of levels. It's very multifaceted. How did the idea for this film first generate with you, Potsy, and then with the both of you in collaboration?
This one, I was scouting for a different project on this big 2,000-acre farm out, east of town of Nashville. And I came across this ridge and there was this little house down there, and it's, 100-plus-year-old house. And it just had this eeriness and this quietness to it. And, I kind of walked around it. It started getting dark. And that's when it kind of hit me, okay, this is, I'm not super safe out here, because if somebody came up right now, I wouldn't know if they were there to hurt me, if they're there to be my friend. It's how do you trust that person that you don't know? And so that was really the genesis of the story, was the location. And then of course, when Tim signed on, working with Tim on just his character and the voice and the intricacies of the story through his, that was an amazing part of the process, I think. So.
Mm-hmm. And Tim, for you, without giving anything away, certainly about this really, really complex story, one aspect of this film is that it's based on real life characters and historic events. So how did you prepare for that historic influence on your role?
Well, a lot of reading about the character. And one book in particular was especially valent. And then there's a photograph of the character, and I sat with that for a very long time, by which I mean months, and just tried to infer how to fit into that and find him inside of myself in a patient way, so that it wasn't just an impersonation, but it was going to be an embodiment. But then, inside of a genre movie, you're responsible for more than just verisimilitude, because in the Western genre in particular, the characters are larger than life, almost mythological. And so you don't just want to be the person, you want to be a bigger version of that person. And then you've got the director's vision, because this is a director's medium, it's not an actor's medium. And I'm very cognizant of that. And I think that makes me a better actor if I'm in service of somebody else's overall vision. And so there's that. And then you need to personalize a character so that he seems to be coming out of you. And so it's that kind of a triangulation between historical figure, the myth, yourself, and then you arrive at this place that's going to work for the director. And that just takes a lot of time and patience and dialogue.
And on a personal level for you as the actor, as well as Potsy, please add your opinions on this one. This is at its core a father-son story. So Tim, you have 3 sons. How did that fatherly relationship that you have with your sons impact how you approached this character as well?
It just seemed to me that Potsy was really on to something when I read the script, because there's a tension within this guy regarding his son, whether he's going to protect his son from the dangers and challenges of the outside world, and thereby extend the son's childhood and keep him out of danger, or expose him to those dangers so that he's better equipped to deal with them when he becomes an adult. And that really deeply interested me, because it's what I face every day raising 3 boys. And that was really my initial way into Potsy's script.
And Potsy, I have a question for you regarding how you directed this Western, because in many Westerns, we see that it's a lot of fancy gunplay and maybe the character shoots his opponent with one clean shot and it's over with. Particularly at the climax of this film, it's very effective, but very brutal. And it shows that with the guns of that day, the killing somebody wasn't actually that easy to do.
I'm just going to interrupt here and say that I think that that last scene is just such a piece of bravura directing on Potsy's part. It was just great to be in his hand shooting that scene.
That scene was, I mean, you know, going into this, wanted to pay attention to how important one bullet is, and what it takes to shoot 6 bullets, the time it takes to reload, and really making it feel authentic and not just like a big shootout. And so, you know, going into that scene, you know, I think looking at, you know, at history and stuff, I don't think the gun was as accurate as we portrayed a lot of times. And so there were a lot of misses, and there were a lot of, you know, in you're nervous and you're anxious and your adrenaline's kicking. So all those things going into it, you know, it's one person on one person, and a slight peek out from behind a tree could be your last movement. And so I think that there's a lot of fun to, you know, especially the snaky movements that, you know, it's like you're trying to make yourself as hard a target to hit, and just, it's a, you know, a dance around these trees. So I think that, you know, it just should feel slowed down and more authentic.
Well, it certainly added to the realism of this film. Thank you very much for meeting with me today. Everybody go out and see Old Henry, coming to a theater very soon. I'm Tim Estiloz with the Spiel on Entertainment.